Hello everyone, this is Kathy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm here today to create a small folio. I'll be showing you how to cut out the template for it, and then you're on your own to decorate it as you choose. So let's get started. Let me show you what the folio looks like. I was inspired by Pink Monarch prints, and I have a little string and circle enclosure. It's tri-fold. It opens up like this. On this side, there's a double belly band. On this side, there's a cute little pocket with a tab. On the inside, there's a pocket here with a little tag. That opens up, and there's a pocket on the inside. There's a gazillion pockets in this little folio. And on the front of this flap, there's a pocket here and here. You open that up. There's a pocket on the inside here. And I just put that in as a place to write. I'm going to close that up. Close this side, and I have an envelope over here. That closes. And on the back, I have two envelopes. And that's what we'll be making. So let's get started. First of all, for the base template, and I'm going to show you as we go along. So that would be for this piece here. You need a piece of paper that measures 8 by 7. 8 by 7. And to get started, you need your scissors, glue, ink if you choose, a bone folder, a scoring board if you choose, or you can use a ruler. For the closure, you need a little circle punch. And I think that's all we need, obviously glue. Okay, the first thing you want to do is score it down the center. This is the 8-inch side. You want to score it at 4 inches. So we're going to score it at 4. We're going to fold it over. Use our bone folder. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score it at 2. And we're going to fold that over. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out. It's a little easier if I actually put some ink on it so you can see. Okay. You're going to cut out this piece. Okay, this piece right here. And you can use your scissors, or you can use a cutter, a paper trimmer. Well, needs to be trimmed a bit. Okay. And you can save that. You can use it to make a little insert. So now I have something that looks like this. I have a 2-inch flap and I have a 3-inch flap. That serves as the base for your folio. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this piece here. It's 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. So I think I have it here. And I'm going to make sure 3 3/4, yes, by 5 1/2. That's this piece. And I'm going to use that, but I'm going to set it aside for a moment. And I'm going to attach this flap. This flap is 6 by 3 3/4. So it's 6, it's just like the other one, but it's 6 by 3 3/4. So let's measure it. 3 3/4 by 6. And I am going to score it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to score it at 1/2. And I'm going to fold that back. Use my bone folder. And I'm actually going to cut the corners of that. Just like that. So you have something that looks like this. Just like this. And I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to decide which side I want up. It's going to be covered, so it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to use this side. I'm going to put glue on this, the inside flap. Make sure you line it up really well, and then you'll have something that looks like this. So that's really your foundation. I'm going to take that piece I cut earlier, and that piece was 5 1/2 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to put a notch in it. And you can measure it. I just kind of wing it. I have to do that with my right hand, though. I'm going to add a little bit of ink. And I'm going to put glue at the top, the side, and the bottom, leaving this side open. I'll put it close to the edge. And I'm going to fold this up just so I know it's going in place correctly. And I'm going to leave a little border around it, a little bit of a border. And I'm making it pretty close to this right-hand side. So now I have something that looks like this. While we're here, I'm going to make an insert for this pocket. And the insert is going to be 6.5 by 5, and I'm going to fold it in half. So 6.5 by 5, I'm going to score it and fold it in half and plop that in here. Got to make sure all my glue is away from the edges, which it isn't. I mean, away from the center, not the edges. I want it on there. And we'll put that in here. So that gives me a little journaling spot. Okay, still want to make sure this closes. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pocket like this up here at the top, and it's 3 by 1 1/4. Here it is. We have it by 3. I'm sorry, by 1 3/4. And I'm going to put a notch in the top. Give it some ink. Oh, this is 3 by 1 3/4. I'm going to put glue at the bottom, the sides, leaving the top open. And we'll just plop something in there for now. Okay. Now we want the flap that goes up. And that would be this one. And let me tell you the size of this. This is 3 3/4 by 6. But I am going to score at the top. At 1/2 inch. Fold that down. Let me make sure that's going to work. Yes. And I'm going to clip the corners. Add some glue. I love making folios because different from a journal, although this is going to go in a journal, you're kind of can create and you're finished in, one sitting, which I love. Okay, I'm going to put glue to the inside. And I'm going to glue it onto the back. I want to make sure everything fits. Okay. And outside, I'm going to fold it up, and outside here, I'm going to place some pockets. One is 3.5 by 2.5, 3.5 by 2.5, and one is 4 by 3.5, 4 by 3.5. I'm going to notch these. I'm going to notch them together so that the notches end up being in line with each other. And I'm going to add some ink. This is 3.5 by 2.5, and the larger one is 4 by 3.5. When I glue it down, I want to glue the larger one first. And it looks like it needs to be trimmed. So I'm going to just trim it just a little bit. Re-ink it. Okay. I want this striped. I think I'll use the striped. Glue down the sides, the bottom. Put that close to the bottom. And now this one, sides and the bottom. Oop, I'm gonna ink it on this side. And that goes right there. So now we have 2 pockets here. Open this up. We have a pocket here, a pocket here. Now, on the top of this, we're going to put a small pocket that's 2 by 1.5. I think that's this one. Nope. But by 1.5. You know what I think that one was? The one that I put in here. This is probably 2 by 1.5. Yes. So this is going to go this way, and we're going to be able to put something in from this end. I'm going to notch it. Just a little bit of a notch. And this will go right up here. We're going to put down the sides, the bottom, and the other side. We're going to put it close to the left-hand edge. So we can stick a ticket in there or something. Okay, so I have a pocket there, there, 2 pockets, a pocket here. Now, I'm going to put some journaling space here. I think I'm going to use my coffee dyed lace paper from Vintage Style Snippets. And Nell at Vintage Style Snippets does incredible work. I encourage you to visit her channel, her Etsy shop, rather. Whoops, I'm so sorry. Whoa. Knocked it right out of the park there. Okay, this I'm going to cut to 3 by 4.5. I'm going to use my cutter for that. So we're going to go 3 inches by 4.5. And 3 inches by 4.5. And these will be journaling spots here. I'm going to glue those all around. Let me make sure. Let me adjust this a little bit. There we go. One spot, try to center that, and another spot. Okay, so that, and that. Over on this side, we're also going to add a little place for a pocket. And this is 5 3/4 by 2.5, this piece. 5 3/4 by 2.5. And for this, we're going to glue it on the top, the side, and the bottom. And it's going to go just like this. As close to the edge as you can. I'm going to plop it right here. Then we're going to add a little piece. I think I'm going to have to cut a piece. And this little piece, let's see how large it is. Let's make it 2 by 5. Okay. and I'm going to use a little tab. It's going to go on here. Let me add some ink. And a little ink to the tab. And I have a little tab punch that I use. Just makes it easier. You don't need one. You can just, create your own, but just makes it a little bit easier. So we're going to put that right in there. Okay, I'm not going to put any more pockets here. I am going to put belly band over here. And it's going to be a double belly band. So this piece I'm going to ink up. Let me tell you the measurements on this. This is 2 by 6. 2 by 6. And glue at the top and the bottom. Glue it all the way at the bottom. Okay, now I have another one that's going to go on top of it. And this one measures 5.5 by 1.5. So 5.5 by 1.5. I'm going to glue this as well. And I'm actually going to fold it in half. And I'm going to ink where I folded. Now I'm going to put ink at the top, the middle, and the bottom. So the top, the middle right inside that fold, and the bottom. And we're going to center it as best as we can. Top, middle, and bottom. What that does, it gives me 2 little spots there, as well as the belly band in the back. So let me make sure it's freed up. Yes. Now for this page, I'm going to use another piece of paper. And let me see if I have the measurements for that. I don't, but I'll give you the measurements. Out of some of the leftovers I have, which was this piece, I'm going to cut it. Just like that. And I'm going to make a kind of a phony envelope. We're going to score it at So this is 7 by 4. I'm going to score it at 2 inches, actually 2.5 inches. Score it 2.5 inches. Well, that came out. And after you score it, you're going to fold it, but don't crease it. And you're going to make a diagonal cut, just like that, so that you have something that looks like this. This is going to fold up, and this is going to fold down, again at 2 inches. And you're going to crease it again. This time you're cutting it in the opposite direction to give it kind of an envelope look. Just like this. What I'm going to do, because it's crooked, I'm just going to straighten it up. The paper that I started with wasn't straight. And I'm going to cut off a little from there and cut off a little from here. You won't have to do that if you follow the measurements that I gave you. And I'm going to ink it up. Okay, this time I'm going to add glue to here, the flaps. You can see my flaps are crooked, but that's okay. Yours won't be. And now I'm going to take my folio and I'm going to glue the envelope I'm going to close it, just so you know, and glue the envelope to the back. So I'm going to put glue all over the flap. And then I want to center it. Okay, so it looks something like that. Alrighty, now I want to punch a circle, actually 2. Glue them together. This is just to make your circle closure a little stronger. I'm going to ink it. I'm going to grab some twine here. And I'm going to punch a hole in it, in the center. And I'm going to punch a hole. I'm going to take out the card. And this is going on the front flap right there. And I'm going to watch my fingers, punch a hole there, get a brad. Put the brad through. And I don't want it to go through the pocket, so I'm holding that apart. And I'm going to open it up. I'm going to punch another hole. And this is just for the inside to cover the prongs of the brad so things don't get stuck on it. Okay. And take my string, and this is about probably 18 inches. I'm just going to tie it once because this is pretty tight. I'm going to trim it. And this serves as our closure. And I'm going to trim it again. I always like to tie a knot on the piece that is the one you wrap around, so it's easily discernible. Okay, so here's our folio. Put this back in. Put things there. Now on the one that I first made, I put envelopes on the back. I'm not going to do that. But if you choose to do it, it's 5.5 by 3 3/4. And you would score at 1 inch and 3 1/4 inch. But I kind of like it plain back there. And if I was to put this in my journal, let me see if I have a blank spot in this journal. I can put it here. I can actually, let's see, here, yeah, so I can use it and I'm going to glue it into the journal. Okay, and there you have it. Well, I do hope you make one and then decorate it. I'm going to be decorating this. And thanks for watching. And have fun making your crafts. Take care. Bye.